Bandai has officially announced the beta for Dragon Ball Fusion World. Hey everybody, Espira, and we're back with another Dragon Ball Super video. This time we are covering the newly announced beta, which is amazing. We've been having the reveals for the cards of the first set going on for almost a month now at this point, and we're getting to the SRs, and it kind of felt like we were just sitting around. Some of us were worried that we weren't going to get a beta because the time zones were between November and January, and they're like, oh well, we need to make good on our promise somehow. So we finally got the dates, and with that we also got campaigns and a look as to what maybe the ecosystem is going to look like. So let's jump into the details. Quick apology real quick if I'm a little bit on the whisper. It is currently 1:50 in the morning. They did drop these details at about midnight. And I'm just kind of getting around to it now. But to kick it off, we have the details here about the beta and kind of like some background information about when, what we're going to expect and things like that. So in this open beta test, players will have access to certain cards from the starter decks and Awakened Pulse, which is nice because it means it projects that we might be able to go and do some deck building, which is great. I think the deck building functionality is going to be something that's very important. But because it's going to be likely like God accounts or you just get everything, we won't get an understanding of what the crafting systems and what the crafting rates will look like for the game. Another thing to note, all your play data will not transfer over. So this is definitely 100 a blank slate beta. Whatever you'll get for this beta, you will not have access to in the main game, which kind of makes sense. I don't think we're going to be opening product in the beta whatsoever, but something to know, your stuff does not transfer over from one account to another when the full game releases. In terms of when, it is January 23rd to the 28th. This is actually kind of smack dab when Battle Hour happens. So early in the morning on the 23rd, and it breaks through until the Sunday of Battle Hour, which I think, for side note, I think is a little bit weird that it's like your biggest Dragon Ball fans who live in the US are going to be at an event that doesn't allow them to be able to play the beta, but at least there's on-site demo, so it's a little bit better. I don't know. Either way, I'm a little hard pressed because I will be attending Cardfest for Battle Spirits, so me making content for this is going to be a little bit rough, but no matter what, I'm definitely going to try and get some content out there for you guys, so click the subscribe button if you guys want to see coverage over everything to do with the digital client. Signing up is easy. You just need to sign up with your Bandai Namco ID, and then basically the Dragon Ball, it'll redirect you to the Dragon Ball website, which will have a downloader. Currently, the downloader is disabled, and I'll actually go show you what the page looks like in a second, but that's essentially where you're going to get the download from and install and go from there. Alongside of the release of the beta, there is a pre-registration campaign, which is essentially a way for them to boost up their social media metrics upon the release of the game. Effectively, if you repost their social media posts and they hit certain thresholds, we will get an accumulated amount of gems as gifts with the release of the game. The English one actually got taken down. So here's a Japanese one, for example. This is the Twitter post you would go and share around so that we can go and accumulate those numbers. I think the English one, though, got taken down because currently the Bandai Namco ID website only works with US accounts as far as the English global release goes. So if you're from myself, like Canada, I was not able to make it through. I was getting errors and stuff like that. So I think that's something that they're correcting on their end before they release the post for us English users to be able to kind of share around and start participating in this campaign. Going into what we get, we just get a bunch of gems, and that's what they're going to be called, it looks like. You know, there were projections on whether they would call it Zenny or what the premium currency would be called, and it looks like it's going to be gems. Those who fulfill the conditions during the campaign period will get 200 gems as a present. So just for participating at all, you get 200, and then depending on the total number of reactions for the campaign itself, you'll get an additional 50, 100, 150, 200, and 318, which I think is really weird. I don't know if that's a typo or something, but 318 could either be a hint at the release date, like maybe the client is releasing on March 18th, I don't know, but if you get to 50,000 likes, you get 318 gems. And it says by registering early, you can get up to 10 digital booster packs worth of gems as a present. So then the question is, we can actually do some pack math right there. This is a bit of a glimpse as to what the economy is going to look like. Now, we're not entirely sure what they mean. If the 200 that you would get from doing the sign up plus the 300 means an accumulated 500, and does 500 gems give you 10 packs, which would put each pack at about 50 gems each? Or is it the 300 that we get if we get a total number of reacts of 50K? And then it's not, for what it's worth, we don't get too many details on that front because we don't actually know how much a gem is worth, but it's good to know kind of ballpark what we're going to be looking at. When we do get an idea of what the economy comes out, we're looking at either 30 to 50 gems per per booster pack. And at the moment, that's good to know. It doesn't give us dusting details or anything like that, or what the cost is going to be, but now we know kind of what the ballpark discussions are going to look like whenever Bandai starts talking about getting gems or anything of the sort. Once you've registered for the campaign, you've registered to get your account, stuff like that, and assuming right now you're in a US country, but I'm sure it'll open up for other global countries. They do have a list, so check on their website if the beta will be available in your country. There are some countries that it's not available for, so that's something to keep out for. If you manage to go through the login process, it will redirect you back to the Fusion World website here. And now you'll see this members section on the right where it says get the download as well as logging out, things like that. So it basically ties you into a logged in version of the Dragon Ball Fusion World website, and you can go from there. And this is really exciting. This is going to be the first public available beta. At the moment, the only thing we had was the closed beta that was available for the Masters version of this game way back, and I'm super excited to see what changes were made to the game. This is specifically in terms of like, did the deck builder get added in? Are we going to see any different customizations? They did specify that we're not going to be seeing all features, and I think that makes sense. I think a big part of this is just mainly seeing how matchmaking goes. It's kind of like going to be a little bit of a server slam, as well as just a few things with like deck building and things like that. So we're not going to see all the systems, which obviously we'll have more discussions on that part, but just kind of seeing what improvements they've made since they showed off the closed beta all the way in March of 2023 up until today. I think is going to be really nice to see the progress and kind of see how close we are to being a release version, because we still don't have a release date. The campaign goes on from the 15th up until release, but we don't know when that is. They haven't tied it. Again, who knows? But looking forward to seeing where that will land. And while this is going on, reveals and all kinds of discussions are still going on. So if you guys want to join the unofficial community Discord, links to those will be description or the comments down below. You guys will want to join. We're going back and forth. Even right now, as I'm talking, it is 1:50 in the morning, and we got people all hype and excited about the beta, talk about the different cards and the different reveals. We're currently showing off super rares, which is super cool. So you guys are definitely want to go check that out. And while you're down there, let me know what you guys are most excited about. Are you guys going to be jumping in? Like I said, I'm a little bummed out because it's kind of in the smack dab middle of when I'm preparing for the World Championship for Battle Spirits, but nonetheless, I'm definitely going to jump in there and make sure you guys have videos to understand exactly what's going on with the client, what to expect, get some gameplay out there. So looking forward to locking all that in, and I'll get you guys on the next one. Ciao.